Hey, what's going on, guys? Butterbar here. Welcome back to the channel. And wow, I make a video about KOTOR and how amazing it would be to be remade or remastered. And sure enough, the same day that I post that video about how great it would be to actually see a remastered version of it, sure enough, we get news from freaking LucasArts that yes, we are indeed getting a remastered version of KOTOR. Now, for me, I'm super excited. A huge fan of KOTOR. Really enjoyed the storyline. Really enjoyed the game. However, at least from the news that we're actually getting about what they plan on doing with this KOTOR game, it does make me a little nervous because it sounds like they want to change a lot of the stuff that made the original game really great. So today I want to give you guys my opinion about what I think about this news and where I kind of see this going ahead from here. And hopefully we don't really see. Look, I want this. If it's going to be a remastered version, I wanted to I wanted to tell the same story. I wanted to have the same story that KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 had. Really great storylines, really great with surprises and kind of the adventure ahead. So that's kind of the stuff I'm nervous about. However, with the hopefully updated graphics, hopefully updated combat system, I imagine we don't want the just here push a button here and your character fights on its own. Hopefully we get to be a little bit more involved. But I want their stuff to be remastered and remade in this game. However, with the skeleton that everything will be put on, with the storyline and everything, I'm hoping that remains the same, and the storyline about redone and everything that happens within KOTOR doesn't get altered a whole lot from the base storyline. So let's get into my opinion about what I think about this news about a remake. Now, apparently from what the first details are saying is that EA is working on a new entry to the KOTOR series that blends elements from the first two games into new Star Wars canon. Now, I will say this, I think it's really goofy the way that they just kind of completely wiped out the legends or whatever, the canon, you know, the books and the video games and whatnot of the Star Wars history and whatnot. So it's you know, the story of KOTOR and KOTOR 2 and even the Old Republic is not really canon, which is kind of lame. But if this actually brings the storyline back into canon, I'm all for that. However, when it says it's wanting to blend elements from the first two games into the new Star Wars canon, what does that mean? From what I'm looking at, from my perspective, is that for some reason they're wanting to like combine the two games instead of making two separate games. And then what are they going to be actually combining between the two games? What are they going to be messing with the storyline? Because I really do find that KOTOR 1 had a really great, solid storyline of surprises, suspense, action, and heroic moments, and it had like a solid conclusion at the end. With KOTOR 2, it honestly acted like The Empire Strikes Back and actually going into more in-depth storylines of kind of what's going on with that and within the universe of the storyline of KOTOR, with kind of left you on the edge of kind of what's going on, what's going to be happening after KOTOR 2. So, reading this statement of blending elements from the first two games, it does have me a little nervous about it, but I will say that I'm hoping it makes it canon. If this is going to be the way that it makes it canon, makes me excited. But again, I'm just a little nervous about this. So other things. So this game is likely going to feature several key scenes and characters from the first two KOTOR games, including reimagining of key parts of both games. Again, look, if you want to take KOTOR 1, make it its own remastered game, totally okay with that. Updated graphics, maybe some more planets and whatnot to visit, maybe a better combat system, more abilities, and just more exploration and stuff like that. Kind of the way that Jedi Fallen Order did. Jedi Fallen had a great combat system, but also had a great way of being able to explore the galaxy in places that we've never seen. So if KOTOR Remake is able to do the same magic that Fallen Order did, but keep the same storyline, keep the same things, maybe change things here and there, keep the same characters and the relationships between everything, I think that'll be a great way. If there's something that happens with KOTOR in this remake where they are altering things that one don't need to be altered. Look, my whole thing with this, we'll kind of get into. Okay, well, I'll wait till we kind of talk about character customization. But look, KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 had great elements. I feel like if they actually start mixing and matching and removing stuff that didn't need to be removed and stuff that is just like it's a good game right now. I mean, hell, people are still buying KOTOR 1 and 2 still to this day because of the storyline, because of the gameplay and whatnot. If they change too much, I feel like it's just gonna alter the game to where it's not exactly what we kind of remember as fans, and it might not be as good. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it might not be as good. So another thing I want to talk about is character customizations or character creations. Look, there was a lot of customizations you could actually do in KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 when it comes to actually customizing what your character looked like, the attributes, and also the equipment, the gear, as well as lightsabers and blasters and whatnot. A lot of customization was allowed in those two games. Now, if they keep that, that's great. If you're actually able to customize what your character looks like, you're able to customize what your character has equipped and whatnot, I think that's good. I think that's a great way to actually bring in stuff that was beloved by fans in the first two games into a remastered version. Now, I will say this, as fans, if you guys have played if you played Star Wars: The Old Republic or read the books, we kind of know exactly what Revan looks like. Especially if you played The Old Republic, you know exactly what Revan looks like. However, with the customizations that KOTOR offered, you're kind of being able to customize your own character, even though you might not be able to know exactly what Revan kind of canon or whatever legends, I don't know how to call it, what looks like in The Old Republic. But I did enjoy the customizations you were able to make to your character in KOTOR. And even with the Exile in KOTOR 2, we've seen pictures of her, we've seen interactions with her in the Old Republic with Revan and whatnot through the storyline. We know exactly what she looked like. But again, with being able to customize your own storyline in KOTOR was still something that was really great and really a great expansion onto the storyline and being able to customize your own adventure. I'll say this, I enjoyed what they were able to do in KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people liked the Mass Effect series. Like, Mass Effect had a set guy for, the guy side, they had a set girl version for Mass Effect, but being able to customize what your character looks like, again, makes you care more about your character, makes you feel more involved in the storyline and things that are kind of going on. So if KOTOR removes that, that'll be one thing I'll be really disappointed about. Now, I touched on this a little bit in the beginning of the video. Worlds, look, KOTOR had a lot of worlds. Even KOTOR 2 had a good amount of different worlds to go to. I believe that with the KOTOR remake, they should remain with the worlds that you went in the original game, but also add a couple more that you can venture off to, and maybe add more things to kind of explore, and maybe actually carry on the game a lot longer than it was you were able to carry it on in the original game. Because you could actually beat the game in just maybe 8-9 hours, maybe 10 hours, but maybe being able to actually make this game last a lot longer and being able to make it 20-30 hours would be kind of a fun thing to do, to make it feel more adventurous, more things to do and whatnot. So again, when it comes to the worlds, I hope they keep it the same, but actually add in just a few more worlds here and there to kind of explore, and hopefully a little bit more areas to actually venture off to and explore. Combat system. Look, I will say this. Even though KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2 are really great games, however, the combat system is really outdated. The turn-based, kind of like just one button push of different abilities and kind of waiting your turn or waiting different abilities to activate and whatnot is a little outdated. I really did enjoy the way that even the Old Republic does it with its way to actually activate abilities or being able to attack enemy players or NPCs, or even the way that Fallen Order has done it with its combat system, or hell, even thinking all the way back to Jedi Academy, Star Wars Jedi Academy, which was an amazing game and had a great combat system. Look, if they're able to take combat systems like that and move them into the KOTOR games, I think it'll be really great. Now, I don't know exactly how everybody else feels about that. That's just my opinion about the combat system. Look, I don't think the combat system currently right now in the old KOTOR 1 and 2 are that bad, but with an updated version of the game, with updated graphics, with, I guess, more years kind of going on with Star Wars and other games and whatnot, and being able to do a lot more with combat systems and doing a lot more with abilities and whatnot, I think they can actually update the combat system where it can kind of fluctuate off of what other games have done in the past and kind of go away from this kind of turn-based style that KOTOR 1 and 2 did in the past. Last thing I'll talk about, who the hell is going to make this game? Who in the world is actually going to make KOTOR in its remake? Now, if we kind of look at EA and some of the businesses that it actually has, or some of the developers they have, you know, DICE is working on, you know, Battlefield 5, as well as a couple of other, you know, Battlefield. I mean, I think they're working on the next Bad Company. I don't know if that's a rumor or not, but so I don't see DICE as something to where they're focused on this. Yeah, they have the Battlefront 2 game. They have Battlefront Star Wars game. They have Battlefield 5. I think they're working on Bad Company 3, so I don't know what their plans are. When you look at BioWare, where BioWare was the original developer, well, original developer for KOTOR 1, dude, I don't know. It's not the same BioWare. It really isn't. I mean, you look at Anthem, you look at them trying to make the Dragon Age 4 game. I mean, look, they're already putting a lot of effort in Dragon Age 4, and then the Anthem game was a total disaster. So, would I want BioWare to make a remastered version of KOTOR? I don't know. I really don't think they would be able to, and I don't really feel like it would be the same game overall. So I don't know. Putting it in BioWare's hand or DICE's hands, I really don't see it. One, actually, I really do see as something that is a really good contender for making this game, but I don't know exactly where they kind of sit at with the amount of video games that they're making right now, is Respawn. Dude, Respawn has made a lot of great games while they've been under EA with Titanfall, the Titanfall series, Apex Legends, you have Jedi Fallen Order, they are making the new the Medal of Honor VR game, so they have a laundry list of great games that they have made in the past that have a lot of fans behind them and a lot of fan support for what they've been doing. Could they make the KOTOR remake? I don't know. At least from my understanding, I don't know if that's in their future. If they plan on making it, I at least have not heard anything. But as a solid company to be able to make a remastered version of KOTOR with the previous history of them making a really good KOTOR game, or not KOTOR, Jedi Fallen Order Star Wars game, I really do think that they could actually do it. So, I don't know. I'm a little nervous again at who's going to be making it. I would like to see BioWare kind of do it a little bit just because they did stuff in the past. I know they're still doing a little bit for Star Wars The Old Republic, and I really do think that The Old Republic actually turned out to be a really damn good free-to-play game, or you can buy into it. I really do enjoy the game still overall, but again, I'm still a little nervous on who they're going to actually put in place to actually make KOTOR, and hopefully they don't change as much as they might actually do, and hopefully it still remains storyline, character customization remains the same. Maybe they change some of the planets and more exploration, and hopefully they change the combat system where it's a little bit more improved and a little bit more exciting, I guess, is kind of the way that I can describe it. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think? Who do you think is going to make it? What do you think about the combat system, customizations? Where do you guys going to think that they are going to be taking KOTOR in this remake, and hopefully making it a good game and kind of living off the legacy of what the games did in the past? So, let me in the comments below, guys. Have a great rest of the day, and I will see you guys all next time.